Welcome back to Reading Bear. Today, we will take a look at some new malicious compliance stories. And if you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comments. Let's go!
First one is titled, Owner Refused to Let Me Do Jury Duty. This was back in the 80s, my first job, working as maintenance man at a local hotel. I'd been working there part-time since I was 16, and when I turned 18, I got a notice to attend jury duty. I picked a week and I let my boss know. The owner of the hotel found out. He was always a completely unreasonable jerk to all the employees, and sees me in the hallway and tells me that I need to do whatever it takes to get out of jury duty because he needs me at the hotel that week for a large dog show, clogged drains, etc., and if I'm not at work, I'm fired. When I get to jury duty, day 1, I get selected to a week-long trial, and the judge asks jurors if there's any reason we cannot serve on the jury. They go around. When they get to me, I tell the judge that the owner of the business I work at will fire me if I'm not back today and said I needed to do everything I can to get out of jury duty or I won't have a job. Other than that, I'm fine serving. The judge looks upset. The judge has me approach the bench, asks for the name of the owner, location, etc. Then he hands the court officer a paper and says something to the officer. The judge still looks upset. I'm told to return to the jury box. About an hour later, still selecting a jury, the officer returns with the owner, visibly shaken, in handcuffs, and walked to the front of the judge's bench. The owner is standing in front of the judge. The judge asks him questions which he apologetically tries to worm out of. Then the judge, looking even more upset, instructs him that I will be here for jury duty, I will serve as long as I need to, and he should not do anything to retaliate against me, and that the judge is filing charges and will be instructing the clerk to check with me regularly, and if, for any reason, I am fired or face any disciplinary action at work, he will hold the owner in contempt, violation of a court order, etc., a bunch of legal stuff. And he will spend time behind bars thinking about how important jury duty is. Then the judge makes him apologize to me, in court. I made it onto the jury and I served the week. I reported back to work the following week. I expected some blowback, but I never got fired, none of my shifts were changed, and I got paid for my time in jury. The clerk did check back a few times, and I was told to call the judge's clerk direct phone number if anything happened. It was awesome. I was pretty much bulletproof and worked until I saved enough to go back to school. Next one is titled, That's All You Pay Me For. I work for a contractor doing custodial work for a casino. To preface this, I took this job mainly because it did not involve management in any way. I have worked in management most of my career and was just burnt out. When I started this job, I was made aware by the recruiter, assistant, who I will call Amy, she's lovely, that a lot of the people that worked at the site only spoke Spanish and that there may be some difficulties with communication from time to time. This wasn't a problem for me as Amy spoke English and was currently managing the contract because the actual contract manager was on medical leave due to having surgery. I am the kind of person that works very hard mainly because I take pride in my work ethic. As soon as I started, I downloaded Duolingo, an app that is used to teach foreign languages, and began to learn as much Spanish as I could so I could better communicate with my coworkers. I am still learning but know enough to understand my coworkers most of the time. Most of my coworkers are lazy. They are oftentimes on their phones while on the casino floor, huddled in groups, or hiding in the locker rooms to avoid doing the work. I, on the other hand, have regularly gotten compliments from the company we are in a contract with about my work ethic, so much so that the president himself has sent emails to my company to show his gratitude for me hard work, as well as giving me some free merchandise with the company's logo. Here's where the story gets more interesting. We are ridiculously short-staffed. On a regular shift we are supposed to have 10 custodians working, cleaning the machines, the bathrooms, keeping trash off the casino floors, taking out trash, mopping the bar and restaurant, restocking all the supplies, etc. Oftentimes we will have 5 people on a shift or less, and with my coworkers being fairly lazy, that means a lot of stuff doesn't get done. I am regularly doing most of the shift's workload by myself, as well as picking up the slack for the other shifts because they too are extremely short-staffed. The actual contract manager finally comes back from medical leave about 3 months into me working there. We will call her Sally. At first, me and Sally get along great. She thanks me for my work ethic and for everything I have been doing. All of that changes when I asked for 3 days off. We had been working mandatory overtime, and up until then I was there for nearly 60 hours every week because we were short-staffed. Initially, Sally agrees to my time off request. I filled out the paperwork and made copies for myself just in case. Managerial background. A week before the days I requested come up and she puts out the schedule and my time off wasn't applied. I approach Sally and ask her why, and she says that someone else put in for time off. This other person is the laziest of all of my coworkers and regularly acts as a supervisor because she's worked there the longest and is the only person that can understand a little bit of English. I tell Sally that I think this is extremely unfair considering that I put in my time off request over 2 months ago and had made sure that no one else had asked for the same days beforehand. Sally explains that she doesn't have any paperwork to prove that, so I give her my copy which I had placed in my work bag. This is when Sally decides to show her true colors. Do you want to do my job? Do you think you can manage this case better than I can? No, I don't pay you to come in here and argue with me. You aren't a manager. You aren't a supervisor. You are a janitor, that's it. That's all I pay you for. I keep what Sally said in mind and just keep my head down at work for a few months after this. At this point of my employment, Sally is getting in trouble by the higher-ups for the lack of employees and retention that is occurring at our site, as well as the company we work for not satisfied with her performance managing everyone. It's not really a secret as we have regional and district management coming in frequently to try and help get people hired and play peacekeepers between Sally and the casino CEO. Finally, we are getting new people hired on thanks to a temp agency that was contracted in to help. A lot of the new hires only speak English, the others only speak Spanish. Other than the lazy coworker who is now on a vacation, 3 weeks. The only person that can speak, understand both English and Spanish is me. The morning the new hires arrive, everyone is gathered in the office, including Sally's boss. They go through orientation, only speaking English, for the new hires and begin to give everyone their assignments. This is when Sally comes up to me. J. Sakra Art, I need you to train the new hires today and make sure everyone else is doing what they are supposed to be doing. Me. Does this mean that I'm being made a supervisor? Sally, who apparently forgot our previous conversation. No, but you're the only one that can speak English and Spanish, and so I need you to make sure everyone's doing what they are scheduled to do. Me, with a blank expression. I'm sorry, Sally, but I can't do that. I'm not a manager. I'm not a supervisor, and I'm not a translator. I'm a janitor, that's all you pay me for, remember? Sally at this point is trembling with rage and starts screaming at me about doing what I am told to do and dropping my attitude, etc. I looked her dead in the eye, with her supervisor, whom she forgot was behind her, and pulled my resignation out of my bag, handed it to her and walked out, knowing full well that now they were going to have a lot more issues because their best worker quit. And there was no one that could effectively communicate between the workers and the company we were contracted with. Skip forward to the next week and I get a phone call from Mr. Regional Manager. Hello, J. Sakra Art. This is Mr. Sonzo. I wanted to formally apologize for the behavior of our former employee Ms. Sally. She has been relieved of her position and we would like you to come back to work with us in a supervisory position. I am now a supervisor, and they are paying for me to take Spanish lessons, which once I complete I am supposed to get a significant raise. Next one is titled, You Don't Want to Tell Me Where You Are? Fine. You're not getting your dinner. I work at a hospital, as a receptionist, admissions person. It's as rough and chaotic as you'd think it is. Anyways, a lot of people don't like hospital food and so they order a delivery service to have food brought to them. That's fine, but the delivery person can't actually come up to the room. It has to be left with us, and we fill out a form and take it to the patient. There is one piece of information that is so incredibly important. Your room number. For those who may not know, delivery people only see your first name and last initial. And that's all the information they can give me. So if I don't have your room number, chances are I will not be able to find you based off of just your first name. A few nights ago, a delivery man came in with $30 to $40 worth of food. The name was a super generic male name like John A. Obviously not the real name. And of course, no room number. I asked the delivery man if he could call the customer, and he said that he would. When the customer picked up, before he could even say, "Hello," I heard some yelling on the other end. The delivery man let me know that the customer said, "Why are you calling me? I don't want to talk to you. Leave it with the front desk and leave me alone." "You don't want to talk to us? Even when we're trying to find you so we can bring you the food that you paid for?" Fine. I very happily let the delivery man know that I would take it from there, and I placed the food on the counter where deliveries go. And it sat there for 4 hours. The food got cold, and the milkshake turned into a sugary, lukewarm slime. But it gets better. 4 hours later, a nurse came down and asked if we had food for a John A. I told her we did, and showed her the bag of food. She examined the receipt and said, "Oh, he can't have any of this." What did he buy? 2 burgers, a chili dog, a side of fries, and a large chocolate milkshake. If he wasn't a jerk and gave us a room number, there's a solid chance that someone would have delivered it to him without his nurse realizing what he got. But because he decided he was too good to speak to us lowly peasants, he had to send his nurse to collect his very cold food that he had been waiting for, only to have it taken away. Next one is titled, "Douche Gets More Than He Wanted, Complains, Then Less Than He Wanted." I've worked in bars for years and this has to be one of the best, moments of my time. I worked with this guy who was always on it. Super smart, never lost for words, very funny and genuinely one of the most professional bartenders I've worked with. This was an exceptional night. We worked 2 to a station on really busy nights, like 3/4 deep kinda night, so I had a front row seat to this gem. Greasy douchebag is waiting in front of our station with his elbow on the bar not facing us. Getting a little annoyed that he is blocking people getting served, Sam taps him on the arm, "Hey, man. You want anything?" "In a second, mate," as he shook him off and continues greasing on this drunk girl. Starting to change his attitude, Sam quips back, "You are blocking people from the bar, man. Poo or get off the pot." Ooh, I start to slow down. Where's this going? Greasy douche face screws up and looks Sam up and down. "Gimme a Coke," he barks with no manners. Sam whips a glass behind his back and catches it in his left hand. Ice in the glass on the bar and throws a straw in the air as he pours Coke from the soda gun. $2.50 thanks, as Sam spins around and enters it into the till. Douche is staring at the drink. "What is this?" "A Coke, as you asked," Sam said with impatience and vex. "That is not what I asked for," he responded. "If I wanted ice, I would have asked for ice," pushing the glass back at Sam. Sam picks up the glass with both hands and did something that I was not expecting. He apologized. "You are so right. I am so sorry. How stupid of me. Let me fix that for you." Sam grabs the soda gun, pours Coke all over the bar counter. The douche jerks his arm away, not because he notices it, but because his shirt's getting wet. His anger, palpable. "If you wanted a ducking glass, you would have asked for one." Sam spouts as he throws a straw in the puddle, turns his back, walks off and flips the bird. My hero. Next one is titled, "All Sales Final. Your problem is no longer our problem." My wedding budget was slim. My now husband and I paid for it all out of savings and took every opportunity to cut costs. So, when it came to the dress, I decided to purchase from a small consignment boutique. They post their inventory online and I watched it for weeks to find the right dress. My style, my size, and a good price. Finally the day came and my dream dress pops up on the site. I drive in, try it on, and love it. I swiped my credit card and left the store happy with my purchase. My credit card statement came a week later and I noticed that the $500 charge wasn't on it. I just assumed that it had missed the cutoff and would be on the next bill. A month later, still no charge. So, I called Discover, my credit card company, to inquire. They said they never saw a charge from this company come through, nor had there been any charges for that amount in the last 2 months. I checked the receipt. It specifically said, discover ending in XYZ, with my last 4 digits, so I knew it had to have been this card. Best they could guess is that there was some sort of glitch and the charge never went through. So, I call up the boutique. I give my name and have the following conversation. Me. I bought a dress about 6 weeks ago. Cutting me off, the store. All sales are final. We don't do refunds or exchanges. Me. No, I love the dress, I'm not looking to return it. I just noticed that there's no charge on my credit card statement. The store. That's your problem, not ours. You bought the dress, you figure it out. Me. No, you don't understand. I have the receipt that shows the price of $500, but... Cutting me off again. We don't adjust prices after the purchase. You should have thought about the price before you swiped your card. There's nothing we can do for you. So, I told them I was sorry to have bothered them and hung up. Last one is titled, We Gotta Keep It Moving. This happened today. I was helping run a machine that prints addresses onto mail. Feed the already stuffed mail into the mail sorter printer. Machine reads a barcode, then prints the needed address. Right off the bat, the machine is kicking out some printed mail as rejects, ones that did not get printed. Well, that's no good. I should inform my boss since we are always told, raise the flag if there is an issue. I do just that. His reply. We gotta keep it moving. There isn't time. I reply. Dude, I'm just telling you. I know it needs done. He offers up. Keep it moving. So I did just that. I ran all the mail and had 4,000 plus units kick out as rejects that should not have. The steps to clean up this mess took an extra hour. But I kept it moving. Thanks for listening.